So here we are, 2020 Rotary Youth Art Prize. We've been bursting out of our skin about this exhibition this year for various reasons. So the presenting partners are rural city of Murray Bridge through the gallery and through the station, Youth Art and Sport and Recreation, I should say. And of course the combined clubs of Rotary clubs of Mobilong and Murray Bridge. So I started here in 2018, so this is my third Rotary Youth Art Prize. Now, a lot of you would know this, but in 2018, the exhibition was in the Vicky Nottage gallery. There were about 32 entries. The following year, we moved the exhibition just in this gallery. We had about 120 entries. Now, in 2018, some of you would remember, and certainly the Rotarians, you would remember, that in my opening speech that day, I'd said, you know, this is great, beautiful show, congratulations. Here's my challenge to you. In a couple of years' time, let's fill all 3 galleries. A lot of people looked at me like deers in headlights that day, but check it out, you've done it. You guys have done it, and we cannot thank you enough. The young people of Murray Bridge and beyond. You know, we have got entries from so far and wide, from Adelaide. Where's the furthest, Michelle? It's been amazing. 149 entries, 90 entrants. Well done, the youth. So now here's the thing. Every year now, and I've just been redoing my exhibition program for the next couple of years, you've got 3 gallery spaces to fill every year for the Youth Art Prize from here on in. So, get cracking. Right. So, I'm actually just going... I just want to mention a few firsts. That's another thing. Not only is it the first time we've got this many entrants and entries, and the first time we filled all 3 gallery spaces, we've increased the prize pool. So, you know, last year, I'm not kidding, Joe Kiddo really struggled, as I know Lauren did this year, trying to find one winner in each category. So this year, thank you, Wendy, Gaboret and SA Housing Authority, for contributing funds so that every category could have a $100 art supplies voucher. So we now have runners-up. So that effectively doubles the number of people that win in this prize. We've also increased the runner-up for overall Murray Bridge Galleries, put in 300 cash as well, so they'll have that and the art supplies voucher. So we're looking to improve and increase, but you know, and really that's also in response to the amazing contribution that young people are giving in so many different ways to this community and their own. And we do this, we support this because we genuinely believe arts and culture have enormous things to contribute to our society and humanity. And we also very strongly believe that, you know, engaging, no matter, this is to you, or to all the young people. It doesn't matter what you want to be when you grow up or when you finish school. If it hasn't got anything to do with the arts, I cannot tell you, engaging with arts and culture from early on is going to set you up in whatever direction you want to go. Any direction. And you want to have a chat with me more about that at another time, I'm always open for that. So, thanks again. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce the 2 Rotary Presidents. If they could come nearby. We have... So, the Rotary President of Murray Bridge, Simon Sigadig, hello, and Bronwyn Hurd, President of Mobilong. I'm going to pass it over for you guys to say a few words.
Yep. Thank you. On behalf of Murray Bridge Rotary Club, I'd like to welcome everybody here. I'm currently the President for this term, which is 12 months. This is, to my knowledge, this has been going for about 5 years that we've been supporting it in this gallery itself. The opportunity that it provides the youth is just fantastic, from the age of 12 through to 25. And we've taken in 16 schools in that area that have contributed. So I think it's a great opportunity for the young people to be able to use. I'd just like to mention that youth is one of our main goals that we want to focus on within Rotary. Murray Bridge High School also has a group there which is called Interact, which is a starting point for Rotary. So if any of the students are a member of the Murray Bridge High, definitely have a look or look up Interact, because that gives you a starting point as well within Rotary. And we're currently investigating starting up a Rotaract club within Murray Bridge as well, which looks at taking youth from the age of 18 up to, it used to be 33, but it's a good starting point for them as well, to put them into another area where they can have the opportunity of meeting other people within a business and focusing on an opportunity to create goals that they want to, projects that they want to create within the area itself. But I'll pass over to Bronwyn now, but I'd just like to thank everybody for being part of this today. Thanks.
Thank you, Simon. As mentioned, I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Mobilong, and it's a thrill to be here today. And first of all, I'd like to acknowledge two of our members, Bob England and Wendy Gaboret, who have been the steering force for this exhibition and the art exhibition for our club. So thank you sincerely to both of you. I asked Fulvia before how many mediums, because I'm not really a very artistic person, so I didn't really understand all the different sorts. And she said that she believes that every possible medium has been covered, which is fantastic.
Except bronze.
Oh, sorry, except for bronze. Well, there's a challenge. Bronze next year. Someone needs to do bronze next year. For me, the exciting thing is to, tap on the shoulder of a young person that you know and say, you do really good artwork. And I know there's one of them standing here today. I tapped her mum on the shoulder and said, you make sure she puts some artwork in. And another young lass that I encouraged to put an artwork in, she's looked at it and she said, I need to frame it, I need to put it, but that's helping her grow in her artwork. So congratulations to all the young people. Lots of proud parents here, I'm sure, today. And encourage your friends and colleagues to put something in next year. So on behalf of the Rotary Clubs, thank you for contributing.
Thank you, Simon and Bronwyn. Before we go any further, I just also want to thank Hannah Smith, who performed for you today. When I first came to, before you give her a big clap, I've just got to say this, and I know Hannah's very rare. When I first came to Murray Bridge, I felt what felt like minutes, I was absolutely blown away by a small handful of young people who were doing phenomenal things. And Paul would know, as I went to Paul one day and went, who did that? Who organised that? And Paul would say, Hannah Smith did that. So she's done amazing things for this region, and she's often blossoming elsewhere. But thank you, Hannah. for coming back. She keeps coming back, doing amazing things here. Yes, thanks again, Presidents, for your words. We do, we take this show very seriously. We spend a lot of time and energy installing it as we would any professional exhibition from anywhere in the world, no matter how, from professional artists. So that's our commitment to you for this exhibition. So now I'm going to introduce you to Lauren, who was this year's judge, and I'm so grateful because I think she's done a really amazing job. And I'm not kidding, she spent hours and hours, and in fact went away and came back and spent more hours. So she too's taken this very seriously. I keep wanting to giggle because the number of times she was like, oh, this is really hard. Come on, Lauren. And
thank you so much, Fulvia. Yes, it was very hard. It's potentially one of the hardest things I've ever done as part of my job at Country Arts SA. But before I go any further, I would just like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on Narrabri country and pay my respects to elders past and present. Narrabri culture is very active and ongoing, and I personally feel very lucky to have been able to learn from the Ngarrindjeri community and have them share with me knowledge of this country and the waterways and what makes this particular place in Australia so special. So a little bit about me. My name's Lauren Mustillo. I'm the Visual Arts Program Manager at Country Arts SA. For those of you who don't know, Country Arts SA is a regional arts organisation. So I'm based in Adelaide, but all the work that I do is based in regional South Australia, and I work as far north as Roxby Downs and as far south as Mount Gambier on all sorts of projects. And by far my favourite part of the job is meeting artists and working with artists, and that's one thing I've loved about judging this art prize, is being able to see the plethora of talent from artists. Thank you to Fulvia and the gallery staff for such a wonderful presentation. 140 plus something works is no mean feat, especially when they're all so diverse across all mediums, as we know. And thank you to Murray Bridge Council and both of the Rotary clubs and the sponsors for being able to make this opportunity possible, because it's really special to have that kind of amount of support. It's not something that we see on this scale anywhere else in South Australia. I think this is the biggest youth art prize in South Australia, so that's pretty awesome as well. Yeah. So, with this in mind, I would like to introduce this exhibition by sharing a bit about myself and how and why I came to pursue a career in the arts. I actually grew up in a small town in Millicent, about 3 hours south of here. Some of you may know where that is. And whilst my parents weren't into art and visiting galleries wasn't a part of my regular experiences, I always loved making. And I always was painting or drawing and took every opportunity to submit things to the local show and local art prizes, and encouraged by my parents to do so. And it was just something I totally loved. But it wasn't until my last 2 years of high school, where I had a very special art teacher, that I learned about the potential of art, beyond the joy of making things. It was through this special teacher that I first learnt about important European art movements of the 19th and 20th centuries, and became especially enamoured by the work of the French Impressionists. Learning about the French Impressionists was the first time in my life that I had really considered that art could be linked directly to cultural, social, political, and even technological changes at the time. It was a huge period of change in Europe, and there was a scientific revolution and there was a social revolution. And it made me realise that not only was art reflecting a changing world, but contributing to those changes as well. And through this teacher, it really opened my eyes to the scale, options and opportunities that were out there, and kind of made me feel that art could be a regular part of my life. I participate in the world, and therefore I can participate in art. So in my last year of high school, I decided I was going to study a Bachelor of Visual Arts at the University of South Australia. And I made the big move to Adelaide after living in Millicent for all 18 years of my life. And art school was a special time as well. I met some of my absolute best friends there, and as cheesy as it sounds, art really taught me a lot about myself and the world around me. I was introduced to some big ideas that kind of changed my view of the world. Feminism, stuff about politics and social justice issues, history. I learned about different people, different cultures, different places. And looking through this exhibition and spending time with each artwork, I'm reminded again about how in tuned this artwork is into the world around them. It's not just reflecting Murray Bridge or, you know, somewhere that you could go a few hours south of Adelaide. It's actually reflecting really big world issues. And in this exhibition, there are very thoughtful, very considered, passionate and caring approaches to a range of important topics. We see ideas about feminism, women's rights, there's works about environmental concerns, cultural heritage, mental health issues, political topics, the impact of social media, just to name a few. these are really contemporary issues of our time, and these are brought to our attention by young people, and these are some ideas that you won't even hear adults talk about. It's like the taboo topic at the party. So, in the world we are seeing some of the biggest movements of our lifetime led by young people, and it's just totally remarkable and inspiring. And I just can't reiterate enough how we cannot underestimate the impact that we can have on the world as individuals, and I firmly believe that art has a huge role to play in that. So even though we're gathered here intimately today, and not every person who submitted an artwork could be here, I want to commend every single person who submitted an artwork, all 90 of them. By submitting an artwork, you are putting an idea out into the world. You are stepping forward in an act of bravery and vulnerability to contribute to a discussion and to have your voice heard. To all the artists in this exhibition, I reiterate Fulvia's comments. I encourage you to continue your journey with art in whatever form that may take. Whether you pursue a career in the arts, or whether you enjoy making and creating as a hobby, or visiting galleries and reading about it. These are all important ways to be part of a cultural discussion, and I am certain that to engage in art is to be on a journey of lifelong learning about ourselves and others. Art is to tell human stories, and I think there's something really powerful in that. So on that note, we have 8 amazing prize winners, both winners and runners-up. So I'm going to take the opportunity to say a few words about each work and what really drew me to those works and why I selected them. And Simon and Bronwyn will be handing out certificates. So, in the category of 12 to 15, the runner-up, Grace Lawler, Beauty of It. I thought this drawing was really sweet and tender, and there was a huge attention to detail in the drawing. There was a beautiful softness in the coloured pencils and a really interesting composition. It's a portrait of a girl, and she's off-centre, and I think a lot of people might be inclined to put the figure like right in the middle of the picture, but she set it off to the side, and she's actually incorporated a dried flower as well. So I thought that maybe told us a little bit something about that person's character. Even though it's obviously a static image, I thought that the work had something really interesting about it in the way she had given attention to the eyes and the hand in this kind of pose of contemplation, and I really could imagine, I was thinking, well, she really does look like she is in this deep contemplation. What is she thinking about? So I thought it was really evocative in that way. So come on up, Grace. Can we give her a round of applause? Maybe she's not here today. We'll get that to her another time.
She may be late. We thought she was coming. Okay, we'll save that for her.
We'll save that. So, on to the winner of this category. The 12 to 15 winner, Valentino Clisco. I hope I've said that correctly. Valentina. The Faceless Children in Detention. I thought this work was really powerful and brave and impactful. It's a sculpture in the next room over of the outline of 3 faces in barbed wire attached to a brick. And it's about, here we go. Not usually allowed to touch the artwork, but because it's the director, we'll let that one slide. This work is about asylum seekers and the treatment of people in Nauru. It's a really brave work, and it reminded me again how our young people are the leaders of tomorrow, and they have something important to say and they're not afraid to say it. I thought this relationship between the materials and the concept was so skillful, because it's really using the materials to tell a story about the work and really deliver on the impact as well. So congratulations.
No, I don't think we let
Also, check out the shadows that the work makes on the wall. They're very ghostly and beautiful. So the next category we have is the 16 to 18 age bracket. This artwork was another portrait. It concentrated on just a few elements of the body. It's a shot of the collarbones, the neck, the jawline and the lips of a figure. I thought it was visually very beautiful. There was a softness and a gentleness to the image, and it was rendered in grayscale with pencil. The paring back of the imagery was very simple and a subtle way of highlighting that part of the body. The composition also is quite contemporary. It's concentrating on just a small section of the body and within a frame on the paper, which really draws on imagery that we might see in magazines or posters or, in a social media context. So I thought they were all, elements that made it really unique. So that's Indigo Kid with the work Subtle. The winner of the 16 to 18 category presented a self-portrait. I personally thought this artwork was a really clever take on, sorry, I've got to say first, it's Lachlan board self-portrait up the back. So Fulvia is there. I thought this was a really clever take on a self-portrait. Even though it's titled as a self-portrait, you never see the artist's face. So I thought that was quite an interesting decision by Lachlan as the artist. So rather than presenting his face, we get more of a sense of maybe what he's feeling. There's a range of different imagery there. They touch on issues, contemporary concerns. We see war, TV, social media, but there's also humour in there as well. And there's, playing the guitar, and there's, other less serious things in there as well. And I thought, that style of drawing was similar to, great illustrators like Mambo, and we see those kind of, that humour mixed with that, those kind of serious issues a lot. So congratulations, Lachlan. The next category is the 19 to 25 age group, and the runner-up of this category is Crystal Matthews with the work We Are Warriors. I believe Fulvia is going to get that work. This work was so detailed and precise. There is a total consistency in the dots that really impressed me. The work has a beautiful balance, and it was very rhythmic, like a sense of rhythmic movement, and the way the lines flowed out of that central circle gave me the impression of flowing water, and I thought that was really special given where we are and where the gallery is, and the connection to the river. I thought the artist statement that you provided as well was very thoughtful and described the meaning behind the composition and the iconography, and very heartfelt in the way you were talking about how different elements represented people, unity, resilience, travelling and coming together. So congratulations. The winner of the 19 to 15 age category is Eve Denner. I Can Feel It Calling Me. She's not here today. She's an apology. I'll say a few words about the work anyway, because I thought it was amazing. The work is a photograph in the next room over. The lighting in this work is incredible. It's a dark street scene with very limited colour and just a few lights shining in the distance. The composition I thought was really impressive. The way there's a central line in the image that draws your eye down the image to a cross motif in the background. And I also, here we go, photograph. I also wanted to commend Eve for the way that she had used the title, the way she named the artwork to be able to tell a story as well. I thought that title, I Can Feel It Calling Me, added like a sense of mystery and intrigue to the work, and it helped to tell a narrative that you could kind of, situate you in that place, because it does look a bit spooky. Great. And now for the overall winners. The runner-up overall winner is Kade Smith with the Adelaide Oval Replica. Congratulations. Unfortunately, Fulvia's not going to rip the TV off the wall, which is a bit disappointing, but you have to check it out for yourself. Congratulations, Kade. I just thought the attention to detail in this work was excellent, and it was actually kind of mind-blowing, if I'm being honest. It was very technically impressive and proficient, and you're obviously very skilled in this, in Minecraft. And if you spend some time with the work, you will know just how detailed it is. Even the trophies in the trophy room have writing on them, which is amazing. I thought it demonstrated a really excellent aptitude to be able to research something and translate that information into a different technology. So being able to take the real Adelaide Oval and translate it, I thought would have been like a really time-consuming and difficult task, but you've nailed it. And I like the way, as the viewer, we kind of move through the space. And it was almost like I got the feeling of what it would be like to break into the Adelaide Oval late at night by yourself. So congratulations. And the first ever moving image artwork. Now for the overall winner, who receives an exceptional $1,000 prize money, is Sienna Montgomery Pitaway for her work Eye Candy. Congratulations, Sienna. Thanks, Fulvia. Our human easel. Overall, this work really captivated and intrigued me on so many levels. This artwork has an intense energy. I think I'd first describe it as frenetic. It's just like, it's got movement. There is an element of chaos, and the many different competing colours in those high saturated tones meant that it felt very busy, but it's like bustling. And it has an energy and a movement. And then you have the eyes themselves, which are simultaneously popping out but also dissolving into the background layers. I thought it was slightly unnerving, with the eyes peering out at you, and somehow they all look like they're a bit indifferent or a bit unimpressed. And as the viewer, your eye is constantly moving around the composition, the canvas, and I think that contributed to that feeling of uncomfortableness, because there's nowhere to kind of comfortably rest your gaze. The composition and all the elements make you want to keep looking around. And I thought there was a clever use of different medium. They're not all painted eyes. Some of them are, correct me if I'm wrong, pastel drawings that have been cut out, and also cutouts from magazines, as well as eyes painted directly onto the canvas. So I thought that added a lot of depth as well. I think it's a totally amazing work. So congratulations. Without further ado, that's all from me. All I can say now is thank you so much for inviting me, Fulvia. It was a difficult task, but one that I thoroughly enjoyed nonetheless. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Lauren. I'm just so glad it doesn't have to be me, because I don't know, we're going to have to add another 100 prizes. Thanks again, and well done everyone. Another big round of applause. We are very aware that when you put artwork, I mean, I think all of your words, Lauren, in your intro were absolutely bang on the money. And I want to add to that, I mean, you know, the arts have so much to contribute in ways that no other sector is capable of doing. But we're also really mindful of, you know, for any artist to put their work out in the public is a really brave thing. It's a really generous thing. It's often a very scary thing. And it's something that we appreciate so deeply. And we are here to support and encourage. Okay, People's Choice. Of course, they're not going to be here because we wouldn't have known who it was. The runner-up of the winner's choice is Lily Dunbar, Dead Tired, number 81, which I'm pretty sure we're going to, Human Easel B is about to...
Thanks, Michelle.
Here it comes. Do we have an age category for her? I think she's 16, 18. That's by Lily Dunbar, called Dead Tired. I remember when she brought this in, actually, I think she's year 10, I could be wrong, but I better double check that. But she was, I think she came in with a parent, and I said, I just think it's pretty amazing work. And it's clearly, I think it's a self-portrait. She's absolutely, you know, you guys, anyone in school this year, and anyone, like students or teachers or anyone in schools this year, I have to take my hat off to you. Well done. What a year to navigate. So I think that had something to do with how exhausting the year has been. And the winner is Jasmine Bella Carr with the work called Window to the Soul, number 133. We were quite fascinated by the eye obsession this year, and I think every one of them, actually, when you sort of talk to the makers and, you know, hear more about the actual work, Sienna, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about yours, but Alex did, so he's filled me in a little bit on where the back, which blows me away. But they're all different stories. So anyway, there you have it all. What else do I need to? Of course, we are doing this every year, and like I said, there are 3 galleries to fill. So, yeah, bring it on. Now, the winners, just a little bit of housekeeping. Those of you who have won your category and you have cash prizes, can you see Michelle, who I need to thank also? Michelle Don't, our arts officer, without whom this wasn't going to be finished. So, thank you, Michelle. If anyone is interested in purchasing works, we don't take commission as we normally would for exhibitions. We are happy to broker the sale. It's cash only, and we make sure all of the money goes to the artist. So just see Charlie at the counter if anyone's interested. Are we done? I think that's done. You've probably had enough now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And especially thank you on behalf of the Royal City of Murray Bridge and the Murray Bridge Regional Gallery. Well done. You guys are amazing. Young people in this region are incredible. Thanks.